Got some college football action this past weekend. It was great.
Yes.
It was glorious. It was amazing. I do want to say this. The YouTube TV multi-view thing.
Really solid.
So clutch.
Love not watching the USC game, though. That was great.
Yeah, well, there's a reason the Pac-12's, absolutely dissolving
That's
faster. It's one of the main reasons.
But the multi-view, something cool I wasn't expecting is you can toggle which one of the games has volume on.
Yes,
Yeah.
and I want to know out there if anybody knows the answer to this. Is there any way, like on the 4, right? You have the 4 different games going on at once. Is there any way to choose what channel?
Oh, you're trying to build your
It's
own.
like on the grid. Yeah,
Like
I want
a
to build
burger.
my own grid
You're trying to put
because I had
Swiss
3
cheese
out of 4. Like I was watching some dude that looked like he was just like an assistant helper at Jurassic Park
Assistant
in
to
the
the
top
regional
right,
manager?
top right corner. And I had 3 games on the other day, and I wanted to just have 4 because I mean, once we start rocking and rolling, especially this Saturday. I mean, this Thursday we can get away with it. I mean, you got NC State, UConn, CBSSN. We got Florida, Utah at 7 on the ESPN. Nebraska, Minnesota at 7 p.m. on Fox. And then, hell, sign me up for South Dakota, Missouri. I want to see what Missouri is talking about, see if they're living that life on the SEC Network at 7. But come Saturday, fellas, it's just matchup heaven. Really week 2, if we're going to be honest. But you know what? I'm so happy. Like I was. That's what I was telling everybody Friday and Saturday. Like nothing you say can hurt me now. Like nothing you say can hurt me.
Wow.
Really excited to start out in the green with bets too. In college football, it's always excited to start there. But we want to know, we're taking your calls. Make sure you hit subscribe. 1-855-236-3228. That number is seared into my mind. We're going to start taking calls right after 7 o'clock a.m. Central. So make sure you call in. But let's get this party started, fellas. Notre Dame opened the college football season with an efficient win over Navy. The 49ers traded quarterback Trey Lance to the Cowboys. And Arizona State has self-imposed a bowl ban in Kenny Dillingham's first season. I'm Jay Crane, and welcome to Crane & Company. Now, we always say here at Crane & Company that 2 things can be true at once. I think some people have a bad tendency to only look at one thing and not the true 30,000-foot view, explore all the avenues. The Notre Dame performance against Navy in Ireland last Saturday is a great example of that, in my opinion. Because on the one hand, Notre Dame was pretty much better at every position than Navy was. And they should have handled him the way they did. But on the other hand, they looked very organized. They looked balanced. They look on time, both pre-play and mid-play. Now, new quarterback Sam Hartman operated under center like he'd been doing it his whole life. The zone and gap scheme run game worked beautifully, and it was in sync. They were able to use the whole kitchen from a play calling standpoint, speaking of sinks, and they converted on short and long third downs, pitched backwards on a few. They played solid in the kicking game, and they didn't have many procedural penalties at all. The defense did take a little time to settle in, but playing a triple option team will do that to you. To put it bluntly, Notre Dame played about as good as they could have in week 1. Yeah, I called it week 1, that's right. Now, having said that, it's still too early to believe that they can make the kind of college football playoff or go ahead and just put them in there. And their schedule does get harder than the Chinese ACT down the stretch, but one cannot discount them for winning the way that they not only want to, but the way that they should. Now, the answer on whether the Fighting Irish can win it all is still unknown. But with question marks still looming about future opponents in Ohio State, Clemson, and now USC's defense, being solid and consistent is worth its weight in Irish gold. Now, there's a ton of season left to play. So before you crown or discount Notre Dame, let's sit back and wait, because their time in the arena against an opponent that matches up with them better from a personnel standpoint is coming early and often. And I'm going to bring in my co-host, David Cohn, former Michigan quarterback. I about made a transition there at the end of that I shouldn't have made, and I'm glad that I didn't do it.
Good, thank you for doing
And
it.
my brother, wearing a dashing mustache, Achilles tendon torn,
Whatever.
but also still in there.
Whatever.
Still in the
My
game,
body's
came back next
My
day.
body's giving up, but mentally, I'm steady.
You're right here.
Steady. Blank
Yeah,
Crane.
right here, right now.
Guys, and I want to say this about USC's defense too. And we talked about this yesterday. I think it's one thing to look at Notre Dame and say, hey, you handled business, you operated efficiently. These are the things you look for against teams that you're better than. And I don't want to jump to conclusions, Matt, on USC's defense. But I think the way Notre Dame played and handled business and the way that USC played and handled business was a little bit different when we've seen the pattern of Alex Grinch and what his defenses have been. Now, I'm not discounting USC. I don't think they're going to make the college football playoff. You've seen my prediction. I don't think Lincoln Riley is going to win a national championship as long as Alex Grinch is the DC. But if I'm going to sit here and say we need to sit back and wait a little bit on Notre Dame, as well as they played, we still need to give USC's defense some time. Kind of, how do you reconcile those two, David?
Are we talking about games that have already happened this weekend? Is that where we are?
Yes.
We're at that point in the season.
Get excited.
We're underway.
Yes.
Get excited.
I do agree with you. I agree with you. Give the benefit of the doubt. It's too early to jump to conclusions one way or another, but I watched every play of that Notre Dame game, and I have to say I was very impressed. And it doesn't have anything to do with the score. I think that's kind of what you're hitting at.
Yep.
USC put up 56 points too, won by 28, something like that. It's not about the score to me. It's about how efficient are you playing football. And to me, Notre Dame looked really good. They were committed to the run. They played penalty-free. They were efficient on third down. A couple of the mistakes, you saw Sam Hartman underthrow that one ball in the end zone. That he wants that one back. That's an interception later in the season for sure. Audric Estime fumbled the ball, put it on the turf. They got away with it because the ball went out of bounds. He had some fumbles last season. How did those things rear their head against better competition late in the season? And then defensively, we still really don't know because you played a triple option team, right? You're going to get gashed a little bit because you're only going to see that offense one time in the season. But to me, it was about Notre Dame playing efficient football, penalty-free, with the few possessions you were going to get, because with the new clock rule and playing a triple option team, they knew they weren't going to get as many possessions as if they're playing some air raid team that's throwing the ball and the clock stopping all the time. And they did do that. I think they scored touchdowns. The starters scored touchdowns on every drive that they were in, something like that. I mean, you can sit there and say, well, who cares? They're just playing Navy. They're supposed to beat them badly. Again, it's not about the score. It's hard to score every single possession if you're practicing against the twos or even on air. And they did that in a football game. So, let's see. I wanted to point out one thing about the schedule here real quick, because we've been talking about, hey, Buckeyes, USC, Clemson, those are the big ones for Notre Dame this season. Keep in mind, between the Buckeyes on September 23rd and USC coming to town on October 14th, they go back-to-back on the road at Duke and at Louisville. And going on the road and playing at Duke, that's not what it used to be.
Do they have NC State too?
They have NC State, but that's on the road, but that's September 9th. All right. And then after you get USC, you're going to play Pittsburgh the week before you play Clemson. And then after you play Clemson, you have Wake Forest. Again, you may say, like, well, Wake Forest, who cares? That's the school Sam Hartman came from.
Yeah.
You think those guys don't want to beat Notre Dame?
Yeah.
That one's personal.
That one's personal. I agree with you 100%. And I mean, there's years where we can, kind of crack on Notre Dame's schedule. This is not one of them. They have one of the toughest schedules in the country. Blaine, when I looked at Notre Dame, the first thing, and when I look at games where you're overmatching personnel, and make no mistake, I know this is Coach Dewberry's first game as was the former DC for 4 years, I believe it was. Now he's the head coach. But Navy isn't Alabama A&M. They're not Mary Margaret and the sister of the poor and unwilling. This is a team that does have some players in certain spots. Now, when I look at Notre Dame, I looked how you operated up front. Yes, you were able to dominate, but you pushed people around. You had the zone scheme was working, inside zone, split zone, gap scheme was working. They lined up in a lot of 12 personnel early. You saw them run trucks. You saw them run power. You saw them run counter. So they can operate in two different styles with the zone and the gap. That's a big deal when defensive front sevens are trying to get used to you and what you do. Being able to have that diversity up front and to be able to diversify your portfolio in that run game adds a lot of problems with eye manipulation for defenses, because now you're having to understand the difference in seeing that tight end seal the backside on split zone and feeling those pulls and feeling those influencers, and that sets up that play action game. One of the things Lincoln Riley is the best in the world at is play action off gap scheme runs, because that influence holds eyes of backers, gets them out of zone coverage, makes defensive ends feel like, hey, well, I either got to box this or I got to spill this. And if I'm thinking I got to box it or I got to spill it, guess what I'm not doing? I'm not rushing the passer, so it gives you a little more time. And then on the other side of the ball, looking at the skill position on defense, which I hate calling it that. They're all skill positions. I liked what I saw from Notre Dame up front. We'll see about the skill positions on defense and on offense from a wide receiver and a DB standpoint. So what are your thoughts on Notre Dame right now, moving forward, getting into kind of the thicker part of the schedule?
So let's go over the things we know about Notre Dame at this point. One, probably top 5 offensive line in the country.
Uniforms are dope.
Uniforms are dope. I'll give you that. They're always up for the Jim Moore Award. You have Sam Hartman at quarterback. And one of the kind of things Notre Dame has been missing, especially when it comes to the quarterback position, they've always been good up front on the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah.
They've always had a good run game. They've had elite running backs there. Sam Hartman could get Notre Dame over the hump. So at this point, we talk about teams all the time, and we kind of relay this to the SEC. If you can run the ball and stop the run, you can win a lot of football.
You can win a lot of games.
You can win a lot of football games. And with this schedule, they're going to have to be able to do that. You go to their defensive line, and Navy's not a pushover when it comes to running the football. I know they're not as big up front as most teams, the good teams you will face. But I thought from end to end and their box, they looked well. They looked good enough. When it comes to playing these big teams, Ohio State, Clemson, your secondary is going to get challenged. In the Ohio State game, your secondary is going to get pushed to the brink of breaking. Can you stay and put up a fight against the Marvin Harrison Juniors, the athletes that Ohio State's going to run it? Because I think up front, they're going to be able to hang around. All right, they're going to be good enough on defense up front to keep them in the game. Your corners, your safeties are going to have to be the difference. Because I think offensively, they're going to be one of the best offenses in the nation. Because I think Sam Hartman's a top 5 quarterback.
Yep.
I truly believe that.
He's a pure NFL guy.
Yeah, I know.
And you got to think, he just came to this system, and I know it's Navy, but it doesn't look like he missed a beat. And even the throws he didn't make, you got to think, guys, he had a 97.9 QBR.
Yeah.
Okay? He averages 11 yards per pass, 251 yards, 19 for 23, and he missed a couple that he usually doesn't miss. So at this point, I don't know how you can look at Notre Dame and be like, you know what? They're not a national.
Well, that's we got to understand too that they were in the best case scenario offensively. At any point in time, they could line up and run it down Navy's throat. I don't know if he'll have another game this year outside of Tennessee State where they're so balanced offensively, the whole kitchen is wide open. I do want to see Sam in that offense, and I want to see the skill position players around him. I think that's probably the biggest question mark we have. I want to see what if the run game's not working.
That was what I was about to say.
Yeah, like that's if they're not multi-dimensional on offense.
With the front four that the Buckeyes
exactly
have
right.
and the front four that Clemson has, what happens if you're stopping Audric Estime and the run game's just not working? Then what else is not going to work? The play action's not working.
Exactly.
Sam Hartman then has to throw them to wins, and can they win a scrappy game? That's exactly what I was thinking.
For sure. Well, we want to see what you guys think. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. We're 1,500 away from 100,000. Got some huge games coming up Thursday and this Saturday. There's some decent ones on Friday too. We mentioned UConn, NC State, Florida, Utah is a big one that's very interesting. A lot of people want to see kind of what's going to happen with Cam Rising, what's going to happen, obviously, with Graham Mertz. And then Saturday, look, it's the first full slate of college football. That North Carolina-South Carolina game, and I'm getting more excited the more I think about it. I think it's a true pick'em. We're going to keep diving into that. But speaking about diving in, college football fans, are you guys ready for the full slate? We know that we are, and DraftKings Sportsbook is hooking you up with a can't-miss offer to start the season strong. And we did that from a betting standpoint this weekend. And this week, new customers can bet just $5 on college football and score $200 in bonus bets instantly. We all know how crazy college football can be. I mentioned some of the games this weekend, that Florida-Utah game. Right now, I'm really leaning Utah -6.5. I like that number at home. The over-under, I don't trust Florida offensively. I want to kind of see if that number goes up or down a little bit. But UMass on the road at Auburn, after getting that win against New Mexico State, a 37.5-point dog. I don't think you'd be crazy to sprinkle some money on that because we all know life's more fun when you're in on the action. So download the DraftKings Sportsbook app right now. Use our code BOOSTER, BOOSTER, and new customers can score $200 in bonus bets instantly when they bet just $5 on college football. Only at DraftKings Sportsbook with code BOOSTER. the crown is yours. And if you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.1800gambler.net in New York. Call 877-8-HOPE-NEW YORK or text HOPE New York 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit cpg.org. Please play responsibly on behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Camp Resort in Kansas. 21 plus age varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. See dnkg.com/football for eligibility, terms, and responsible gaming resources. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. Eligibility and deposit restrictions apply. Boom!
Woo, and breathe.
Wow. That's exactly right. Give me a cowboy hat. Let's turn this thing into an auction. Speaking of auctions, we're not auctioning it off. The price is going to stay the way it is, but we've got great merch. Go check out the Crane & Company merch under Originals at dailywire.com. Really easy to find. Go and sell us out of that because we got some great ideas that we want to put in there for the college and NFL season. All right, Blaine,
yes.
Booster Club, what's going on?
Booster Club, thanks for all the birthday wishes yesterday. I really appreciate it.
Screw you.
Let's go to Old War Skull 88 with a $2 donation. He said, I'm calling in this morning. First time, and I'm coming in hot.
Good, I love it. Bring the noise. Have it brought on you.
Let's go to Fergie Ferg with a $5 donation. He says, good morning to you. Out of the other Power 5 conference winners that you guys have picked, who do you think they could be a contender to play in the SEC? So again, out of the other Power 5 conference winners that you guys have picked, who do you think they could be a contender to play in the SEC?
Like to go into the SEC conference?
Yes.
For the SEC
Any
to
of them
take
could
over?
play.
Yeah, that's true.
Texas? No, I'm just kidding. They're obviously already going to the SEC. I mean, I think you got to look to the ACC. You know, whether you picked Clemson or whether you picked Florida State, I mean, that's the easiest transition. That's the best fit, not only regionally, even though geography doesn't matter anymore, but from a media rights standpoint, one of the conferences is run by ESPN. The other one is run by ESPN. So that one probably makes the most sense when it comes down to it. Looking at the Pac-12, I mean, now pretty much everybody's spoken for. I mean, none of us picked any of those other teams that's left in the Pac-4 to be able to do it. So I think the ACC is the easy answer.
Even though Washington State, man, I feel worse for Washington State even more so than, say, a Stanford, right? Because Washington State, they love football. You know, the Wazoo
Pullman,
flag,
I've been to Pullman.
Wazoo flag's been flying at college games.
Yeah.
The longest running flag, you know, and it's kind of like they're left out in the wind right now.
I'm interested to see War Skull call in. Call-ins are going to be pretty fire today. It's football season.
Let's go to Brad David with a $10 donation. Appreciate it, Brad. Yes. Last week, y'all were high on Texas this year.
Yeah.
Yet Sark has never won more than 9 games in his career. Why should we expect this year to be any different?
Because I think this year is the best chance he has from a personnel standpoint and an experience standpoint. Look, this is judgment year of Steve Sarkisian.
Yes.
You've had enough time to build it up, right? We've seen him be a head coach before, and this was when obviously he had the problems that he went to the Nick Saban, coaching rehabilitation center for guys who want to coach good and do other stuff good too. And this is kind of his second, Phoenix arising from the ashes moment. He has the quarterback with experience. He has one of the best offensive lines potentially in the country. 5 out of 6 of your top wide receivers came back, and you added A.D. Mitchell from Georgia. You're really good in the tight end room. And defensively, what you've done through the transfer portal and building it up, and not saying Texas is going to be a top 10 defense. They don't have to be a top 10 defense. They need to be a top 40 defense to be able to have a chance. And I've noticed, looking around kind of in the sports media, this is kind of an interesting segue into this point. I see some people saying, oh, well, you can win with a below average defense. So, and I'm not a huge trends guy. Y'all know that. I feel like I say that every show. But
That's trendy of you.
No, yeah, I know. No team has ever won a national championship since 1950, since the game has changed, and it's changed way more since even then. The lowest ranked defense, I believe, to win a national championship was Auburn in 2010, when they had the 44th ranked total defense overall, but they had Nick Fairley, they had Josh Bynes, right. You had pieces. And to me, a below average defense is somebody, average to me is in the middle. Out of 133.
You splitting a 60?
I mean, you really look at 65 as 130. So if you're past 65, LSU, give you an example, in 2019 had the 32nd ranked.
You said LSU?
Defense.
That's the one I was
total
looking up.
defense
Yeah. Okay, so 32nd.
Yeah, so Auburn has had the lowest, I believe, I was looking this up yesterday, at 44. USC last year, because this is who they're referring to, had the 94th ranked defense overall. You're not winning a national championship like that. And when you go back and look at the numbers, and nobody said, I think 1917 Army
If that, yeah, I mean,
Had
if
like-
that was true, then Lincoln Riley would have 3 natties.
Yeah, that's not how the game. That's not how football's played.
And if every other defense were regressing, that would be fine. But look what Kirby Smart's doing.
That's exactly right.
He's going back to that old school mentality of football. I think you're going to see Alabama do
Look at
more
Nick
of the
Saban.
same this year with Nick Saban. And on the LSU point, you said 32nd ranked.
32nd ranked.
And that was with an offense that had Joe Burrow, Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
Your worst player was Randy Moss's kid.
That's a good point. All right. Now, also, if you're on Twitter or X, drop questions underneath there. I know we had a lot of movement on that this morning, so we're going live there.
All right, let's go to Charles Dossett with a $5 donation.
Thank you, Blaine.
Here we go. It's time for another Blaine Speaks a Foreign Language. Blaine, I don't know why you do this to me, man. Helt snel. Warbragen sa 100%.
Yes.
Dabat ansa Flama da Draken.
Yeah, Flaming Dragon.
I'm guessing Polish.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
That's either Polish or German.
Oh, wow. Then he comes back with a $100 donation.
Wow. Charles.
Appreciate it, big
We're
dog.
going to the club.
Says, give me a breakdown of Army. Are y'all going to be good at running the ball this year? Be good.
You know,
Charles,
I wanted to do one where we did the Commander-in-Chief, who's going to win the Commander-in-Chief trophy this year, and after seeing Navy, which, look, again, you can get better. I know they're going to get better under the new coach. When it comes to Army this year, I mean, I think it's the question that you always have. I know there's some transitioning. I think Air Force is going to be the best team out of the 3, in my opinion. Watch out for them going undefeated, too, with the schedule they have. They could throw a wrinkle kind of in the whole college football, not playoff, but dialect down at the end, or dialogue. When it comes to Army, I think the biggest question is what it always is when you're running that style of offense, or even if you're transitioning from that to another style of offense, it's up front, right? That's the difference. I mean, you even look at Navy, you look at some of the backs they have. When Army has been good, and it's ebbed and flowed, we've seen Air Force come up, we've seen Army come up, we've seen Navy come up, we've seen them kind of go back and forth. It's gonna come down to up front. Now, when I look at their schedule, I need to pull up their schedule.
Right here. It's pretty cool, actually. They play at UTSA, they play at Syracuse, they play at LSU, they play Coastal Carolina at home. The game you're talking about with Air Force, I think that'll be a neutral site November 4th. They play some pretty cool games this year.
Yeah, I don't expect them to be the best of the 3 groups. Could they sneak up and bite somebody? Yeah, I don't think they're going to sneak up and bite LSU, even though if you're LSU, why the hell would you ever schedule that game? Why would you ever schedule a game against a triple option
weird.
team? The UTSA one's interesting.
Yeah, that's week 3. So they start with UL Monroe and Delaware State. Then they go at UTSA week 3.
I wonder what the spread does. It say the spread on that first game? The one at
UL Monroe? No, I'll look it up.
If it's anything under 10, I may hop on that bad boy.
All right, let's go to Cole Frank. We know what this is, fellas. $5 donation. Appreciate it, Cole. So LeBron is mid. MJ's the GOAT. I enjoyed a little bit of the stream I caught yesterday. Did y'all enjoy the first games of the year?
Yes, it's like Christmas for adults like me, especially adults like me. It was great. It was one of those things where I got up extra early. I'm going to be honest with you, I didn't watch game day. Now that there's no Pollock, now that there's no Big and Rich, I'm not watching that. All it does is make me worse. I'm not watching it. Even though I love Kirk Herbstreit. I do love Kirk.
Kirk does a great job.
I think Kirk does a great job. I just refuse to watch Desmond Howard, who just so happened to pick the team I picked to win the Natty. So
I'm sorry, Pat McAfee's not David Pollock.
No.
There's no X's and O's on game day anymore. And
No.
It makes me want to throw up.
Yeah, no, it's just an absolute aberration compared to what
there's no Big and Rich intro. It's
listen, I understand, I can understand the Big and Rich thing more than the Pollock thing, even though it just doesn't seem right to me. So therefore I had to, and then there's other, avenues to kind of get your college football fixed early in the morning. But I got up extra early because I was super excited, and I had to find stuff to do. Like I went and vacuumed my car, got a car wash, got the groceries, changed the cats thing. It was just a total situation. But speaking about total situations, let's get the best and worst from the weekend, fellas.
Also, Army minus 9.5 right now against UL Monroe, and the over/under 48.5.
Man, I may hop on that Army spread. I want to see if it goes down a little bit, kind of like a sweet muffin. All right, here's what we got: best and worst, fellas. Coney, you want to start us?
Yeah, my best, Victor Hovland.
Yeah,
winning the tour championship,
went
man.
Nuts.
Are you kidding me? Let's see here, Hovland. was Hovland's second straight victory after he captured the BMW championship at Olympia Fields, Illinois last week. This kid's hot, man. His latest victory came with the FedEx Cup, an $18 million bonus, boys. Earned $21.6 million over the past 2 weeks.
Man, that must be cool.
Is he Belgian?
No,
He's from Norway.
Norway. Yeah, played at Oklahoma State.
Won the Tour Championship by 5 strokes over Xander Schauffele at East Lake. He carded a 7 under 63 in the final round.
Same guy that went and the day after, I believe he lost a tournament, went and caddied for one of his good friends. It's just good to see good things happen to good people. I've never heard a bad word about Victor Hovland. And yeah, man, it's when these guys get hot, they just get amazingly hot.
Started at 8 under and finished at 27 under.
Like if you've never played golf, you really don't understand how good.
Oh, dude. So I saw Rory hit a shot that was just like science didn't understand what happened.
This pisses me off.
One of my best, Arizona State.
Oh, this is your best.
Yes.
This is my worst.
Yes. See, this is cool because you can look at both sides of it. I think it's brilliant if you're Arizona State. They're self-imposing a bowl ban for this year. Now, if you don't know what they did, Herm Edwards and Antonio Pierce and Zach Hall and the gang, they basically did all the stuff you can't do, right? It's even worse than Tennessee. They had recruits visiting during the COVID bans and all that. They were filming workouts at local parks with kids and then evaluating them in staff meetings. A bunch of level 1 violations. And look, some of the stuff, regardless of what you think about COVID, you can't do it. Like you can't break the rules. You can't do it during dead periods. Some of it wasn't even during COVID. It was just during dead periods. They were having paying for people's trips to come up. There's a reason Herm Edwards went back to ESPN. I think he kind of got a pass on all this. Him and Antonio Pierce just went absolutely nuts. But Kenny Dillingham had it built into his contract that with this NCAA investigation going on, whatever bowl ban or whatever happens, he gets an extra year on this contract. So he's going to get an extra year out of this, which is absolutely brilliant by him. But you got a true freshman quarterback starting this year, probably not going to make a bowl game anyway. If you're, instead of paying, because Tennessee had some similar violations. Tennessee paid $8 million and did some other proactive stuff and didn't do a bowl ban. Arizona State said, we're not paying that money, we'll just do the bowl ban. Because Arizona State's, the money they have allocated for football compared to what Tennessee has, even though Arizona State's a huge university, they're not operating in the same waters. It's not the same thing. So I think it was a brilliant move, but I hate it for the player. I hate the timing of this announcement. Because if you're a player there and it's your last year, now you can't play in a bowl game.
That's why it's my worst.
Yeah.
I mean, what good is a bowl ban if you're not going to make a bowl anyway?
I know.
What is the NCAA? Do they... this is the whole problem with the NCAA.
Do you know that?
Let's say they win 4 games this year.
Now you have an excuse.
And they don't, does the bowl ban carry over to the next season?
No, it's 20.
So how does the NCAA,
but
the NCAA makes no sense.
No, they make no sense at all.
And the most important point you made in that whole thing was when you said Herm Edwards is now working at ESPN or something.
Yeah, it doesn't matter to him.
And he kind of got a pass for this. Why aren't we punishing the people who did it, man? There's 20-plus seniors on this team now. Let's just say they do go 6-6 in Kenny Dillingham's first year. There's 20-plus seniors in their last year of organized football who won't be able to participate in a bowl game now because of the actions of someone else who's not even being punished. I got deposed by the NCAA twice at Michigan, to be honest. And that was the only thing running through my mind the entire time I was talking to him is, man, what if my senior year I don't get to go to a bowl game? Now,
should seniors be able to leave?
Well, how are they going to leave, man? We just kicked off football.
Yeah,
what are you going to do?
It's too late now.
Well, can they make an exception?
You're talking about getting granted an extra year.
Granted an extra year in eligibility?
These days, I thought you could play as long as you wanted anyway.
Yeah,
that's something we're going to have to talk about at some point, too, is Sam Hartman breaking all these records, which is awesome. He's having a great season, and he already put up awesome numbers. But at some point, the asterisk has to come out.
Well, Stetson was 30. When he left.
There's a difference between your age. I mean, Chris Winkie was 27 back in the day. There's a difference between your age and the number of seasons you get. Yeah. I mean, Sam Hartman's breaking really important records out here with a 6 year of eligibility.
Yeah, he broke Aaron Murray's overall passing yardage. I think he moved up to 19 or something like that. So here's my question, David. Herm Edwards and Antonio Pierce are never going to coach in college again. What other punishment could it be? A fine? Is there a fine, or how do you punish them?
I don't know, and I'm not saying that
scorn, shame them in the streets.
Game of Thrones style?
Shame.
Shame. I don't want to see that because I don't want to see that. And I'm not saying that the school can't accept any punishment. I'm just saying, you were talking about monetary. Yeah, if I'm a senior who might go to a bowl game this season, I would rather the school pay money than to have a bowl ban.
Yeah.
You know? Like,
No, I know.
I got it.
I think they made that decision.
It's rough. My best is going to be Will Grier from the Cowboys. He got announced before the game that he would be not making the roster, but the Cowboys started him to give him a chance to prove. And what did old boy do when the pressure was at the highest? Went 29 for 35, 305 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a QBR that was up there. So I believe it's a great move by the Cowboys.
Pissed off for greatness.
Good for Will Grier. He's a West Virginia native. Remember watching West Virginia. He's a great player.
He was.
So hopefully he finds a roster spot, but there's nothing cooler than me when, a guy, look, man, we don't believe in you. We don't believe in you. You're not going to make the spot. We're going to go out there. Maybe you can show something to other teams. And he goes out there and absolutely balls. So good for you, Will Grier.
I like Will
Let's
Grier.
go, baby.
He's a North Carolina native.
He's from North Carolina. He
went for West Virginia, yeah.
Yeah, he played at West Virginia.
I don't care where you played.
Yeah. What's up? What's your worst? Oh,
that was your
my
worst. Yeah.
My worst, Noah Syndergaard.
What happened?
Designated for assignment.
Yeah.
Has there ever been a more overrated or overhyped player in Major League Baseball than Noah Syndergaard? Came into the league, throwing that pounding that slider, that 94-mile-per-hour slider. I know he's had injuries, but for all the Thor stuff, all the Noah Syndergaard, he made the All-Star team one time in 2016.
Really?
In 2016. His overall hadn't pitched over 100 innings since 2019.
He had some elbow stuff, didn't he?
No, yeah.
With Tommy John.
Yeah, Tommy John. And listen, I know some of it's out of his control, but lifetime ERA, it's almost at 4. Just a guy that a lot of people had a ton of, had a ton of potential. I remember watching him coming up, just absolutely, like I said, just shoving. He got designated for assignment. I'm sure somebody else will give him another chance, but I mean, at this point, I just think it kind of is what it is.
Yeah, I saw that. Also, the Orioles closer, Felix Bautista, is that what his name is? I think he's out for the season.
Yeah, UCL, I think.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, I believe
Placed on injured list by Orioles.
Yeah, I believe
elbow injury.
Yeah, I believe he tore his UCL.
And I hate that.
Tough, man.
Man, I liked Noah's good. Tommy John Rooney. My worst is, I don't know if y'all saw this video over the weekend, but Noah Lyles.
Yeah.
Who got up and talked crap about the NBA about calling themselves world champions when you win an NBA title. There's no flags in the NBA. He's a track and field guy. Noah, I can tell you this, all right? We could get the below mediocre players in the NBA, take them around the world, and kill everybody. It won't be close, all right? The champion of the NBA is the world champ because they will wipe. They might be the solar system champ. We don't really know yet.
Yeah, until the Monstars show up, start stealing people's
it got to the
talents.
point where we were not even sending our best players because it's so unfair. We're sending children. We're sending kids who just got into the league.
We're sending
I
Halliburton
get what
to the
you're
boys.
saying, and I get what the point you're trying to make, but buddy, I promise you, if you rattle this big dog's cage, they will bite.
Yeah, I don't get your point. I'm going to be honest with you. Like, what you just said is one of the dumbest things I've ever heard in my life.
Oh, I get what he's trying to say.
No. And to be honest with you, I don't know if you should have a driver's license after saying something
Well, he
that's
can fly,
stupid.
so I don't even
Like,
think
well, that's fine. Then just run your ass around town. But like the fact that you even think that makes me question like your day-to-day mental capabilities to be able to do things that could harm other people.
I hear that from some of my British friends sometimes about the Super Bowl, about being world champs in football, even though you haven't competed against anyone else in the world. I just tell them, look, man, this business is we're open.
There's a reason.
This business is open 24/7.
Get your best.
Hold on. You think the NBA would be bad?
We'll get our best.
Yeah. You think the NBA, listen, after the Revolutionary War, y'all may just need to shut the hell up, and y'all blew a 13-colony lead. God knows what would happen. We could send La Monroe over there and run house. So I'd be careful with that. Soccer, y'all got it. Knock yourselves out. I could care less. But no, it's that's really interesting, David. I didn't know that. Look, let's do it. I want it in the Olympics.
Soccer until Operation Petadexterity.
Until they let me do Operation Petadexterity.
Implement Operation Petadexterity. Boy,
That's exactly
we
right.
might be talking just as much.
Look, it would work. Like again, you can laugh all you want. It would totally work. We all know.
Goal!
Yeah. And you know what else works? Black Rifle Coffee's ready.
It does.
Yeah, it does.
Hey, NASCAR, up tempo. We're going quick. All right, summer's in full swing. We know you don't always have time to brew coffee the traditional way each morning. That's why you need to check out the ready-to-drink cans from our friends at Black Rifle. Ready-to-drink coffee is perfect for people who need their coffee quickly. All right, they've got great flavors: vanilla bomb, salted caramel, mocha, and vanilla caramel. And if you don't like any of those, open your door. The FBI's there. Black Rifle Coffee is a veteran-founded coffee company that's operated by principled men and women who honor those who protect, defend, and support our country. And with every purchase, David, they give back, especially if they purchase that bag that has llama with machine gun
it's
on.
power llama. I don't need to explain too much. It's a llama with 2 machine guns. Look at that belt right there.
We call that an Egyptian tank.
Yeah, imagine riding into your game day with that thing.
Yeah, nobody's gonna. Yeah, that's what you got to take when you go to LSU away games as an opposing fan. What do you got over there, Achilles?
Gunship. In your face, Osama.
Yes, exactly right. So save money and drink America's coffee. Go to blackriflecoffee.com and use our promo code BOOSTER, BOOSTER, at checkout for 10% off your one-time purchase or first coffee club order. That's blackriflecoffee.com, promo code BOOSTER for 10% off. You can also find Black Rifle Coffee in grocery and convenience stores near you, but we all know you want to use that promo code to get it offline, or online, or on the line, actually.
We know you're drinking coffee.
Black Rifle Coffee.
Use ours, save money.
America's coffee. What's going on in the Booster Club or X or Twitter or whatever?
Let's go to Texas Ed. He wants to know, what offense scheme would you run if you were developing a playbook?
Multiple.
Yeah.
5 wide, baby. Let's get out there. Tempo. Let's throw it 60 times a game.
I want to be able to present as many formations. I want to be as balanced as possible. But that RPO style system, I'm going to be honest with you. What Josh Heupel does, it takes a little longer to build it up to get the depth on defense. But what he does puts so much stress on a defensive coordinator, and you almost have to rob Peter to pay Paul or play it even across the board. It's hard to pigeonhole Tennessee, and they make you tackle in space consistently. It's just one-on-one, tackling in space, quick math, easy reads from the quarterback. I would probably do something very similar to what Josh Heupel does.
I would be a little bit more like Sean McVay, probably. A lot of motions, a lot of different formations, but you're still essentially getting to the same spots and running the same schemes.
Mm-hmm.
Also, what Jim Harbaugh is doing, too. I really like what he's doing at Michigan. You have to have great backs for that, though. Maybe that combined with a little bit of what Urban Meyer was doing with Tim Tebow and Chris Leak and some of those guys.
Yeah, well, like a lot of people, I think, can confuse motion with, I'm motioning to try and out formation you. Yeah, but a lot of times you're running motion to see what the defense
You're
is.
dictating.
It's hoping it's the Rosetta Stone of offenses. Because a lot of times, if somebody carries with that motion guy, it's what coverage? It's man.
It's man.
Right? If they spin it, it's zone. Even though you can spin some in man, like when you're looking at man free, if you get motion from one side to the other, you see those safeties change responsibilities. One comes down, the other
Heupel splits as a receiver guy is what I love.
Yeah.
This is splits a receiver. It's just so hard to defend. Let's go to Aiden Losh. What's up, Aiden? Hey, CNC, any words of encouragement for all the college students returning to class today?
Good luck. Look, it's nobody. Let me make sure it says. Some of you guys like school. Great. Awesome. It's football season. All right, so go handle your business in class.
What did someone say to you one time?
Huh? No, here, you're a student athlete.
That's so funny.
All right? Academics comes first.
Yeah. They used to do that at Michigan.
Athletics comes second.
All the time.
Never forget that.
Coaches.
All right?
Oh, that's so funny.
Hey, a lot of people go to school for 7 years. You remember that, all right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
They're called doctors.
Yeah. Congrats.
And
Save
Tommy,
me.
And Tommy Boy.
Yeah.
Save me.
Let's go to Travis Elrod. Would Notre Dame have a better season in the Big Ten over being independent? Kelly.
I don't know. You look at this schedule, maybe. Depends on if you're in the West or the East this year.
That does depend.
To be honest with you.
Which?
I would say yes. Well, I got them going 11-1, so no. No.
God, if they had...
It's about that. I mean,
they're already...
Well, one of their toughest games against the Buckeyes.
Yeah.
So let's just say that's a flip. If Michigan and Penn State were both on the schedule, that could kind of swap for USC and Clemson.
Yeah, but I mean, you got...
Would you rather...
I would rather play a Big Ten schedule than what Notre Dame has this year. Because, I mean, look at the... It's pretty close. It's a good question.
It is a good question.
And you look at USC, they're going to the Big Ten. So, you kind of look at the future schedule there. I think it's think that's about even, man. That's a good question. Remember, if you donate, your question gets
Let's
asked.
go to Sean Pennison, hashtag Ask Crane & Co. Appreciate it, Shawnee. Is USC overrated at 6 with their defense?
I've said I'm going to stick with what I've said, like in the beginning. I don't think USC is a top 10 overall team when you look at balance. There's a reason I had them at number 11 and where we had them at number 11. And I just don't think with a defense, you're a legitimate, not only playoff contender, but national championship contender. Because at some point, there's going to be a game or two, and you look at USC's schedule, and it's coming down the pipe, where your offense isn't hitting on all cylinders. We see this in basketball. We see this in baseball. We see this in football. Sometimes you're not hitting the three. You got to win a game with defense and rebounding. Sometimes you're not hitting the ball well. You got to win it with pitching and defense. Sometimes in football, the offense isn't hitting on all cylinders. You're turning the ball over. There's been a lot of penalties. You're behind the chains. You got to win it with defense and special teams. In those big games where USC isn't able to just sit there and drop 60 points like it's nothing, can they survive with the way that defense played in game one? And I know there's a lot of time to go, but when I look at Alex Grinch's pass, you know what this team looks like to me? Every single team that Lincoln Riley has had with Alex Grinch as a DC. That's what it looks like. It's what it looks like to me. If you're giving up 80 rushing yards in the first quarter to San Jose State, and I'm not saying San Jose State is a pushover, unbelievable, easy team, but there's no excuse to that. You can sit here and you can hope and you can do all this. You can hope in one hand and do something in the other, and you can see which one fills up faster.
All right, let's go to Tim Salinas. Appreciate it, Tim. He says, Texas will be youthful this season, but should win double-digit games barring injury.
What do we mean youthful?
Young.
You're older on the offensive line. You've got an experienced quarterback. You've got a ton of experienced wide receivers, including adding one from the portal. You have an experienced tight end. You've got experience on defense, including what you had. This is one of the oldest teams that Sark has had. This is one of the reasons I think they're going to have the year they have.
Mm-hmm. Let's go to Cal Stringer with a $5 donation. Appreciate it, Cal. Said, first day at my Power 5 throwers coaching job.
Nice.
Anybody got an inspirational speech?
Power 5 throwers.
Power 5 throwers. Look that up. What is that?
Okay, 1 second.
And then I'll give you one with the incredible intense music. And then we got to get to calls, 1-855-236-3228. Well, we still got a little bit of time. We'll hit that quick hitch.
Is that track and field?
It's track and field. You're
throwing?
You're throwing something.
Like discus and shot put and all
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead and play the music. Still that bad boy up here. You said it's Kyle?
Yeah.
Kyle, what's up? I know a thing or two about getting throwed. Just not in the Power 5. It's an incredible accomplishment by you. Whether it's the javelin, whether it's the discus, whether you're just throwing a fit, you want to be the best at it. You want to throw it the furthest, the hardest, the fastest. It takes technique, it takes fundamentals. But Kyle, you put the fun in fundamentals. Just like Blaine puts the mental in fundamentals.
Mental read.
Now you go and throw it. You do that spin thing where you got to stay in front of that line and you let it go, you let it ride. It's like that time when, Arnold Schwarzenegger went and just threw that discus when he was Hercules and shocked everybody. That could be you, but it also could not be you. There could be another Hercules out there. Maybe worked harder than you. Maybe he grinded harder than you. Nobody's grinded harder than you. So go do your thing today, Kyle. We're rooting on you. God bless. Bless up. Let's get throwed together.
Let's go, Kyle. Come on, baby. Love it. All right, let's go to Sled Dog Gaming. It says, remember when these guys were trying to claim, I think these guys, meaning us, were trying to claim Notre Dame was going to be a 3 yards in a cloud of dust team? It's almost like they didn't know Notre Dame got Sam Hartman. I don't know what that means.
There's no way he means us by these guys.
Yeah,
What guys?
Someone else in the chat.
I don't know these guys. I don't
When
know.
did we
Notre
ever
Dame
say
got the all-time passing TD leader in the ACC above Phillip Rivers, above
I think
everyone.
you've been
Trevor
watching
Lawrence,
the wrong show, dog.
And it's going to be 3 yards in a cloud.
Blame's
I don't
been
think-
nothing.
I don't
Blame's
think
done nothing but gas this guy up
I
the
don't
last
think
6
any of
months.
us has ever said 3 yards in a cloud of dust.
No.
I don't think anybody's seen that saying. Look, first of all, these two guys right here have Notre Dame losing 1 game.
Yeah.
I have 2.
2. I have them losing 3. So
Which I wish I could go back and change after watching this.
So Sled Dog, I don't know.
Please
clear
call
exactly
in.
who
No,
you're
how about
talking
this?
about.
How about you call in and tell me
Yeah.
when we said that, which we never said that.
Let's go to X.
I mean, first of all, Notre Dame's run game last year was really solid.
Yeah.
Without having a quarterback that could do nearly any of the things that Sam Hartman was able to do. The Audric Estime and Logan Diggs 1-2 punch, which they won't have Diggs this year because he transferred to LSU, but I was already impressed with.
I'm trying to remember when we ever said that.
We didn't say.
Yeah, I think you're just making stuff up now.
All right, let's go to X. Let's go to J Swish 5.
J Swish.
UNC
Yup.
versus USC.
Woo!
Give me your best bet.
And he's talking about South Carolina.
Yeah.
This is a true pick'em to me. This and the Florida State LSU game are true pick'ems to me. They really are. And we've got an announcement about the Florida State LSU game, which we're going to have to pick that one. I am not going to bet on this game with a show bet on Saturday. I'm going to go ahead and tell you. Now, I'm going to tell you who I think is going to win. I may take the over. I think the over's at 62.5.
Okay, well, I'm looking around 64.5.
It went up.
So right now, UNC's minus 2.5.
That stayed the same. But it was at 62.5. It's at 64.5 right now. Lock me in for this weekend. Sergio, Cody, lock me in for this weekend. 64.5.
Gotta like the over.
Yeah, 64.5. Lock me in. I got UMass plus 37.5. Now I'm gonna get locked in this Saturday for the North Carolina, South Carolina over 64.5. So that's my best.
Both offenses are good. The thing about games like this, it's like, one, Beamer, he's a what? Special teams guy.
Yep.
So something's going to go on when it comes to special teams. It's going to be a little trickery afoot. And second of all, the mistakes usually in games like this are big mistakes, right? It's just 6, fumble in the backfield, return to a touchdown. So 64. You can play this up to almost
Even with
70.
the new clock rules, I'm taking the over at 64.5. So that one's locked in. Y'all heard it. Everybody heard it. Even Sled heard it. He actually heard right this time.
Let's go to Tim Salinas with a $2 donation. Thank you, Tim. Does the new clock favor a Georgia, a Bama, a Michigan slided team?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
How?
It does. Because you can possess the ball for longer. If you're a time of possession team, you want to be able to possess the ball for longer. You can turn a 4-minute drill into a 6-minute drill. And what it forces the teams like Texas Tech and Oklahoma and Tennessee and Jacksonville State, these other teams that want to go really fast, you have to now, that first down is super duper important. But now it's even more important because that other team can take more time off the clock, which means that your defense can be out on the field even longer. So what was the biggest problem with, let's say, Tennessee's offense is, I go 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out. Now I look up at halfway through the second quarter, and my defense has already been out on the field for 60 plays. And now, because that clock's extending further, you can sit on the ball longer, and you can not only keep your defense out there longer, you can take away possessions from the offense. So you got to be a little bit more calculated, and you better get that first down.
Let's go to King Don Sobek. He says, my high school team lost their first game 63-0 to a 4-star Auburn commit, Walker White.
Yeah.
Someone cooked here.
Yeah, it's Walter White. Either way, something's getting baked. Apparently, it was just you guys.
Let's go to the house that Cody built.
Nice.
Love that house. $5 donation.
You worked hard on that.
All right, guys. A lot of motivational speeches today. I need a motivational speech, too. It's been 10-plus years since I was in school, and it's my first day at Northern Illinois. Go Huskies.
Okay, quickly. We'll do one more.
This whole show is
This is turning into a motivational speech situation. Cody, or is this really Billy Madison? We all know you're going back to school. It's a tough look, but I'm proud of you. University of Phoenix? No. That other South New Hampshire Institute of New Hampshire? Whatever it is? No. You're going back to Northern Illinois, which is the top part of Illinois, which means you have to be the top part of your class. I think they're the Huskies, right? Sounds right? Well, guess what? I don't know if you're a Husky or not. All right, but get the fat out of your ears and learn. Sit down, number 2 pencil. It always works, but you're number 1 in our hearts. Good luck, Cody. The answer is always C. See ya. All right, NFL Quick Hitch.
Well done.
Calls coming up. Thank you.
The Trey Lance experiment in San Francisco is over, boys. The 49ers have traded him to the Cowboys. Your thoughts?
For a washing machine?
Oh, they got
That's how they got Monix.
They got the Monix discount?
Yeah. Look, here's where I'm at on it. You talk about two polar opposite things that happened. You gave up 3 first-round picks to get Trey Lance, which, by the way, if you're the next North Dakota State quarterback, you don't have a chance in hell of getting drafted high. Just don't work out, even though the Chiefs may pick up Carson Wentz. I don't know if you already had that. But on one hand, You gave up a ton for a guy that was a bust, and I think he's going to continue to be a bust. But I mean, I don't know who's robbed the NFL more, Trey Lance or Chase Daniel. That's a great debate to have. But then on the other hand, you get Brock Purdy. Snatch him out of the shadows to at least to this point, we'll see how he does coming out that UCL, to be the quarterback to lead you. And outside of that, the roster moves that Lynch and them have made have been absolutely fantastic. But I think Trey Lance is cooked, man. You might as well line him up in slot, see what he can give you at the Cowboys.
Is that what they're going to do?
No.
No, I think they'll give him a
He'll
shot at
sit at
quarterback.
third string for the rest of his life. He'll get some playing time. I mean, at this point, why wouldn't you take Will Grier? What has Trey Lance done to keep him on a roster?
Do you move into wide receiver? That's what makes me think they may do it.
The NFL is too good at the wide receiver position to move Trey Lance there. He has a better chance of playing quarterback than a better chance of playing receiver.
So if the NFL is too good to move a quarterback to wide receiver, then how the hell could the NFL move a wide receiver to quarterback? Ryan Tannehill.
Ryan Tannehill?
Yeah.
Well, ask the Titans. I don't know. That's why I haven't won anything.
I'm saying there's like precedent set for it.
Well, there's always an exception, right? There's always an exception. Maybe Ryan Tannehill's the exception of being a receiver, becoming a mediocre quarterback because the Titans don't want to draft anything else. Trey Lance has a better chance of starting at quarterback than starting a receiver.
What about Julian Edelman?
Julian Edelman's a receiver. That's what Julian Edelman is. He's a receiver.
Okay.
He was a quarterback at Kent State.
Look, it was a bad miss. You traded a lot away for him, but like you said, you've hit on other things.
Yeah.
Right? And you've made it to the NFC Championship game without hitting on that number 3 pick. My question is, will it come back to haunt them because the rest of the team is so elite, but you haven't figured out the quarterback position? Let's see if that.
I mean, obviously, it's going to come down to Brock Purdy. Like, if Brock Purdy ends up being the guy that a lot of us think he can be, then it's, hey, wipe your hands with it. We still figured it out. But like watching RG3 and Will Compton go, I'm still trying to figure out what the hell RG3 is talking about. Talking about how Lynch and Shanahan should be on the hot seat.
What hurts is
he has to say something stupid every now and then so that his name gets mentioned.
What hurts is this. What hurts for me if you're the 49ers, and I know your roster's great. Brock will probably do a good job. But the people you didn't draft and drafting Trey Lance, Kyle Pitts, Jamar Chase, Jalen Waddle, Penny Sewell, J.C. Horn, Patrick Surtain, Devontae Smith, Justin Fields, Micah Parsons.
A lot of good ones.
Man, that hurts.
Oh, no.
Look how good their team still is.
Can you imagine
I know. Think if they didn't draft him.
Can you imagine?
Think if they had Jamar Chase.
No, think if they had Micah Parsons.
Or Penny Sewell. Both tackles. Oh, God.
Down, set.
Rough.
All right, next one. A second NFL preseason game was called off this weekend during the game between the Dolphins and the Jaguars. Wide receiver, who was it, Dawood Davis, took a hit and was carted off the field in the fourth quarter. He is conscious and has movement in all his extremities, so there's a good update there. But we had a question last week, are we going to continue to see more and more of this? I know these are preseason games, but it seems like the Damar Hamlin situation set a precedent. If you want to stop the game, you can.
I'm not gonna hit the panic button until this happens in a regular season game, right? To me, this is, and let me just ask, honest question. Let's say you work at a bank. 9 a.m, something happens, somebody passes out, whatever. Ambulance has to come get them. Does the bank just close for the rest of the day?
Could.
I don't think it does.
There's a scenario that exists where the bank would close.
Yeah, if
the bank got robbed.
If it got robbed, yes. But I'm talking about if somebody like all of a sudden.
That's my point. Is like in a football game, these things happen.
Yeah.
You're expecting these things to happen.
I understand, but still, I don't think at a bank or at Publix, if somebody passes out at a Publix, like and they have to call the ambulance to come get them at 9 a.m, the Publix is staying open the rest of the time. Like, so not only is it a game where this stuff happens and we don't want it to happen, but you know what happened. You know what you're risking when you sign the paper. But other people that are working normal jobs, they don't get to quit their job or get to just go home for the day because they got scared because somebody passed out in the deli.
Yeah, I mean, it's no coincidence that after we saw this for the first time with Damar Hamlin, which was we're talking about outliers and extreme situations, that was the version of the bank getting robbed, right, in the analogy. Like, you can understand why the game wasn't continued that night, but after there's a precedent for it, now we're seeing it more and more. We've already seen it twice this preseason.
Yeah, if it happens in the regular season, I'm going to have a totally different view of it.
If the argument is just, well, it's just preseason, then why are we playing these games? Then
Well,
why are
I
we
mean,
even playing them? You know, and if the moment we get rid of all the preseason games and someone gets injured in the very first game, then the Players Association is going to complain. Well, we need preseason games so that we can get warmed up and ready for the season.
Yeah, but I mean, you can see why I could understand it more in a preseason game, like of the difference between the repercussions of ending a preseason. I don't like either one of them, but if I had to pick one, I would rather you end the preseason game than in the regular season game, because at the end of the year, we don't look back and say, well, you lost week 2 of the preseason, so you're not getting in the playoffs. Like that's...
So understand that we had a kid in rec ball puncture a lung, and they came and carted him off the field, and we finished that damn game.
Yeah. That was a big game.
Yeah.
That was a big game.
I hit him.
Like Jeff Coat Funeral Home playing somebody.
It was David. I remember it. Everyone panicked. Oh, God, freaked out for 20 minutes. Line it up. Line it up. Everybody go stretch, get warm. Let's get back after this.
Let's get that Capri Sun and orange slices out here.
All right, last 2, C.J. Stroud has been named the starter for the Texans. We knew that was going to come in. Got drafted 2nd overall. And then Aaron Rodgers made his Jets debut this Saturday. Didn't get injured, Blaine.
Oh, God.
Look good,
a couple plays you were worried about
Garrett
there.
Wilson on the high point.
Yeah. Like, they're going to be good. They're going to be good. One, it's going to come down to this when it comes down to the Jets. Offensive line.
But he gets the ball out so quickly. He's like nullifying a lot of the deficiencies on the offensive line.
It's going to help, but will it help enough?
That's a question.
I'm ready for us to make our NFL predictions next week, too.
Yeah.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
It is going to be fun.
All right, CJ Stroud, though, we'll see Texans rebuilding. I love the D'Amico Ryans hire. I think down the stretch, this is going to be a good move. I don't expect them to do anything early. In my Survivor League that our buddy B made was talking about, they do go to the Ravens week 1. I'm thinking about just hopping on ball. You got to win week 1. To win the Survivor League in the NFL, you got to win week 1. So I'm thinking about just picking whoever plays the Texans probably every week, unless it's like a top 5 team in the NFL. So like they're at the Ravens, I'll go ahead and take Baltimore. And that one, I think they play the Titans week 2 and maybe at home. I don't know. That one makes me a little nervy. But we're not a little nervy for you to call in 1-855-236-3228. But first, when you look in the mirror, you see dark spots and realize, hey, I took my Dalmatian costume off an hour ago. Well, they're not going away on their own. They're on you, all right? You don't want to look like a twister board. You need help from Genucel's Dark Spot Corrector here just in time for the summer. Because just like Howie said, sometimes the sun cannot be your friend, all right? And neither the moon. Underrated. Not enough people know that. The Dark Spot Corrector has not 1 but 3 cutting-edge ingredients. Goes to work fast on sunspots, dark spots, liver spots. You get your liver spotted hands off my mother, of my beautiful mother, and even old discoloration on both your face and hands. And you'll be amazed at how quickly you'll see results. With Genucel, you'll see the results or you'll get your money back. That's the greatest guarantee of all time. We all use it, all right? David, I'm going to be honest, you're glowing as usual, and I think Genucel's to thank for that.
He said it all.
Exactly right. And the Booster Club sold them out last time.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, Blaine, you're...
Only time the Booster Club's ever sold out.
This is... God, I love the way you put that. It's that mustache. I swear it's just like, it helps, gives you 2 extra miles per hour in the fastball.
Yeah, it's just like I got the mustache. 2 days later, I'd tear my Achilles. It was bad vibes early.
We all know it does.
They had us in the first half, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, but you got to go to Genucel.com/booster. That's GENUCEL.com/booster right now. Get your dark spot corrector with the new Genucel most popular package and say goodbye to those pesky spots tomorrow. They're offering free shipping, free returns, and the best luxury skincare you've ever used. All at 70% off, which is more free than it's not. How about that? And all orders will also include a mystery luxury gift while supplies last. That's Genucel.com/booster. You want to get to calls, David?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
We got Jan on the line, a.k.a. Tumbleweed 1477 in Lubbock, Texas. Jan, what's up? Set the tone this week.
Hey, guns up, boys.
Oh, yeah.
And a belated happy birthday to you, Blaine.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it, Tumbleweed.
Okay. One thing before I get to what I really called, regarding the halting games when someone's injured, all I can say is lawyers are in the room. So
yeah, well, for sure. Well, my thing is, I mean, at what point, I mean, you know what you sign when you sign up to play football. I mean, in the contracts, especially now with this Damar Hamlin thing, any new contract that gets written up, I promise you, the NFL is going to do one thing. They're going to protect itself. So to me, that's like saying, all right, hey, I joined the Army. Not saying that football's like war, but one of us got shot. Let's stop the war. Everybody stop the war for the day. Let's go. But it just doesn't work like that. That's not how it works.
Okay. Now, the real reason I called is to just remind Dave about our plan to support local sports this year. Last Thursday, I went out to see the Sundown Roughnecks, which is about an hour outside of Lubbock. And I have to tell you, it was just go support your local sports.
I love that, Jan.
Yeah.
Team. We
keep it local.
It was, we got to meet the 8th grade team, the JVs, the field and track team, the varsity team, the whole town, because it's a small town. The whole town was there. It was just glorious. And
Definitely.
That's awesome.
A good sign from God, because we've had triple degree weather here. It was a cool 92 degrees, a beautiful day. The community was all together. So, man, I just can't say enough about it. It was spectacular. So, and I wanted to let you guys know I have a surprise package that will be sent out to you this week.
All right.
All about local sports. So I can't give any, gifts away, but I hope you'll love it. And
Definitely.
I love you guys.
Oh,
Love
well, we
you.
love you too,
Jan. Thank
High
you
school
so
football
much.
started everywhere. You got middle school
Good for
football,
you.
JV football.
Supporting local sports.
She's exactly right.
Be
And
like Jan.
Be like Jan and go to the
Be
farm.
like Jan. That's one of the
That's
reasons I don't like college football games on Friday night. I like keeping high school football games.
I'm with you.
Giving them a spotlight
I'm with you on that.
Friday.
I'm with
But,
you on that.
I'll still watch some of them.
Yeah,
So.
that's true.
All right. Thank you, Jan.
Thanks, Jan.
All right. We got Josh in North Carolina. Josh, what's up?
Oh, hey guys, what's up?
What's up?
On, Josh.
So this is Voltar here.
What up?
It's not a Tennessee question. It's actually a Texas A&M question. But before I get to that, I am following advice of Jake and wishing Blaine a happy belated birthday, but he said to rag on you, so now you're 1 year away from the retirement home.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
If I'm 1 year away from the retired home, how is it, fellas?
Well, it's great. I mean, we're getting closer to getting
retired.
What would I say?
I drove by it. It looked fun.
Yeah, again.
If I'm there, then
Yeah,
y'all just there for a while.
This guy's riding a scooter around Walmart.
That's
I don't want to hear
exactly-
anything
Hey,
from you about the
Publix,
retirement.
dog.
This guy's
Publix.
riding a scooter in the supermarket.
bathroom.
Yeah, I mean, Oreo smoothie now.
Yeah, it's Saul Goodman's my lawyer, so my nursing home, we're doing great.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, and a quick life update. So I got a new job. I'm starting tomorrow. So
Okay.
it'll let me actually listen to the show live every day on my way
Let's
to work.
go.
and actually call
Good.
in more. So,
Good.
Love it.
That makes everybody better.
Smart,
Yeah.
Josh.
It does. It really does. But so I'm getting to my question. So I never really watched too much college football growing up. I just kind of started really watching it these past couple years. And watched the Johnny Manziel documentary. And I knew some of the stuff that happened with him while he was at A&M and in the NFL. But it really kind of opened my eyes to how much hadn't made, but how much he could have actually succeeded. So I guess I got two-part question is do you ever think there's been a more important player for a college football program like Manziel to A&M? And do you think his game could have translated better to the NFL if he actually watched tape?
Yeah. Number one, I'll answer the second question first. I think he would have been better in the NFL, obviously, if he had watched tape because he was that talented. But I don't know how long he would have made it with his off-the-field stuff, regardless of if he watched tape or not. I mean, I think he was so troubled, eventually it was all going to come crumbling down. I don't think just by watching tape that would have calmed down what was happening with him on the field and around him with his entourage. I go back to just think, what if he had kind of gotten it together and didn't have those off-the-field problems, and you mix that with his talent, his natural ability, his throwing ability, his ability to keep the play alive, his ability to dominate in the scramble drill. And I think he could have been a really good NFL quarterback. I don't know if he would have been a Hall of Famer, but I think he could have been really, really good. The first question, when it comes down to importance, I mean, he's way up there. I think some people go to the Tim Tebow Florida argument, but I think Florida had a little bit more of a precedent of quarterbacks before them when you look at some guys that had really balled out and brought a lot to that university, maybe not as much as Tim Tebow. Cam Newton at Auburn was pretty important with what it meant, but man, I don't know. He's up there. Johnny Manziel's up there. When you think of Texas A&M, who do you think about?
I think of Johnny Manziel.
And I know John David Crow did his thing and stuff like that.
I have to say, I watched the first 3 episodes of the Swamp Kings this weekend, the Florida documentary. I have to call some of my Florida friends and get their thoughts on this because I thought it was pretty disrespectful to Chris Leak, honestly. Did you see any of it yet?
I watched a little bit of it. It wasn't what I thought it was when I first started watching it. I thought it ended up to being more of a puff piece.
I mean, they painted the narrative as though Florida didn't have a quarterback and they just had to go recruit Tim Tebow and he was the savior. And then all the way through that national championship year, Chris Leak's the starting quarterback.
Chris Leak was really good.
Chris Leak, many think he was the greatest high school quarterback of all time.
Yeah.
He broke the touchdown record,
Green Eyes.
yardage record in North Carolina. So it wasn't like he was some chump and they just had to get Tim Tebow in there.
Yeah, I thought that was a very kind of molded in look. I mean, I know a lot of documentaries.
Florida Doc was a miss.
It was,
in my opinion.
It was, I thought it could have been way better. And I don't think they had to go digging for anything else. That you had all the information available to be able to make that documentary what a lot of people thought it was going to be. But I would say no, he's up there with the most important, I think, Josh.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, from looking at the documentary, it made me see that. But then also watching the documentary, it made me think of, like, how many other great players that potentially missed out watching on when I was growing up. Because, like, Johnny Manziel was really popular when I was in, I believe, like, middle school, almost high school. So, like, just the amount of good players I could have watched, like, in their prime in college and stuff like that.
Well, you gotta, at least you found it, right? It's like people that say when they meet their significant other, when they're, I don't know, 33, it's like, man, I wish I would have met you when I was 26, but I could have not met you until I was 50. So it just depends on the way you look at it, Josh.
Yeah, it's a good way to look on it. I'm going to call on Wednesday about my Tennessee predictions. I don't want to take too much
love it.
away,
Yes.
Yeah.
Good luck on the new job.
Yeah,
Josh.
good luck on the new job. Go kill it,
Thank
bro.
you.
See you, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, we got Anthony in Clarksville. Anthony, what's going on?
Hey, what's up?
Hey guys, two Eagles here. Guys,
What's up, man?
I got to brag on my boys. So I got an 8-year-old that plays on a minors team and 10, 12-year-olds that plays on the majors football teams up here in Stewart County. We played our rivals to open the season. Houston County minors won on a 10-yard QB scamper on 4th down and overtime, and it was just
Let's go.
We got ourselves an Eric Crouch. Yeah, 8-year-old
Wow, so Eric Crouch is
Good
good.
little
Wow.
witch.
Yeah, but and then my 8-year-old, he was a utility man. We put him everywhere. He did great. And then 10-year-old shook off an injury and played strong. The 12-year-old stopped a 2-point conversion.
Let's go.
It's
a family affair.
Boys.
Two Eagles. Sound like you
Yeah.
raised them right, bud.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
good situation over there.
They get Saban on
Yeah.
It's
the
like, it's like, hold on, why is Kirby Smart outside my house?
Yeah, I was beaming all weekend after that. So, but moving on to another question. I got to know, all of you have some baseball in your background, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yes.
you guys will probably have some superstition in you, right?
Yeah.
Of course.
So I want to know, do you guys have any routines or superstitions you guys do for Ukraine boys, the Auburn Tigers, and for David and the Michigan Wolverines? I want to hear if you guys have any things that's worked in the past or that you guys are trying now.
I mean, I can go ahead and start this if y'all want me to. When it comes to Auburn games, anytime I see Holly Rowe at the game, I panic
Yeah.
because we're going to lose.
Yeah.
I would want to see, if someone could find this, to go the win-loss record at Holly Rowe
gotta be
at
awful.
Auburn games. It has to be.
It's got to be.
Every
awful.
time I see, if Holly Rowe's at an LSU game, I'm not watching it.
Yeah.
I'm not watching it because we're going to keep it close for 3.5 quarters, but they'll win on the last drive. So my superstition, if Holly Rose has a game, we're going to lose.
Yeah.
All right.
I instantly live bet the other team.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
And I hope they're an underdog. What I used to do growing up was I used to wake up before Blaine and take his toothbrush and scrub the bottom of the toilet with it, which he's just now finding out about. We don't live together anymore, so I can't do
That's
that.
crazy because I'd wake up and switch toothbrushes.
I knew it tasted funny. Oh, that's funny. No, I tell you what, I've got a pair of shorts that I wore last year that got really hot. Now, see, I don't even think about it from an Auburn standpoint. I think about it from a betting standpoint. So now I'm trying to be superstitious, like to hit my bets. That's how I think about it now. Because, look, I'm already dead inside as an Auburn fan. Like, they can't hurt me anymore. I've been so up and down.
You are so good, though.
Like, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Shut up, David.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Here, let's go. Michigan's going to win the Natty. Me and Desmond Howard hanging out. Yeah, I'll wear the same pair of shorts every Saturday. Did it this past Saturday. It worked again. So apparently this whole offseason.
And don't wash them.
You know, I wash them during the offseason, but like I won't.
During the offseason.
Yeah.
Like a Patrick
Let's some marinate.
Man, to me, it was less about superstition and more about routine and really just being OCD. I mean, I played first base. Yeah, I'm not stepping on the chalk when I get.
No, yeah,
you never.
But it's not about
George
because I
Bush.
think if I do that, I'm going to make an error. It's because I don't want to mess up the chalk. I'm just too OCD about it.
Oh, so it's a chalk thing for you. See,
Look, I'm looking out for the guy. Look, he put a lot of time into that, chalking that line, head ball coach.
Yeah,
you know?
well, not, if we're talking about like baseball, I'd always play tic-tac-toe with the other first baseman on the dirt behind the bag.
Really?
Play tic-tac-toe throughout the game.
You were just distracted.
That's crazy. What I
ADHD.
What I used to do before baseball games, I'd wake up before you.
Okay, here we go. I knew
The
that.
only superstition I'm starting to maybe buy into is the last 2 years, I've watched the game, Michigan, Ohio, at the farm with Richard.
You got to keep
We're
doing
the-
You got to do. You've got to
the
do
first
it
2
now.
wins in a decade?
You gotta
no,
keep it.
you've got to do it
Well,
now.
Michigan depends on me.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if you did and y'all lost? It would legitimately be your fault.
I couldn't forgive myself.
I'd
But
tell Jim
now-
Harbaugh on
But
it.
now maybe I'm like, what can I get out of this? Maybe they could send me a little cash for my troubles to go down there.
I don't think Michigan.
Maybe
sent
some
cash to
burgers.
anybody
Send you some
right
burgers.
now.
Can I at least get a
Send you some
hamburger?
burgers?
Yeah.
I'm trying to get suspended.
That's the fries that'll cross your eyes. All right, Anthony. Thanks, buddy.
Thanks, man.
One more little thing, really quick.
Yeah.
So the best celebrity golf pair up died this weekend, Bob Barker, and so I think we should all just have a
Did
little
he?
moment of silence
R.I.P.
for one of
Yeah,
the
he did.
TV great.
Rest in peace, man. He whipped Happy Gilmore up and down.
Bob Barker
Yeah.
was a real one.
Yeah, Bob Barker was a real one for sure.
Yeah.
I feel like Bob Barker used to like do shows and like just smoke like 10 cigarettes in between each one of them.
America.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. Good
Thanks,
call,
Anthony.
Two Eagles.
Thanks to Eagles.
Appreciate it, man. All right, Sasha in Austin, Texas. What's going on?
Sasha, what up?
Hey, good morning, boys. We got to get some violence going on this Monday, and my AK Espresso just has it for you. So I got 2 things for you guys.
Let's go.
Let's go.
First, go blue, David.
Go blue to you, Sasha.
Boring.
But to get this question off, there are 2 things. So which one will happen? Number one, will Arkansas win the West, or will 2 top 10 teams lose this weekend? There's already 1 top 10 loss that's guaranteed with Florida State and FSU. So will any other top 10 team lose this weekend?
Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. Number one, I don't think Arkansas is gonna win the West, even though I do have them going 9-3. So calm down, Fayetteville. Heartbroken Hog, I can feel you all the way from here, and not in a weird way. Another top 10 team going down. So you got Michigan, East Carolina. No. You've got Ohio State and Indiana. No.
Duke, I think, is the closest one to have it happen.
Ooh, yeah, I think you're right. Nevada at USC? No.
Well, who's
UT Martin
top
in Georgia.
Shut
Hold on,
up,
who's
dude.
top 10? Our top 10 or the one that those other networks put out?
Yeah, I guess
'Cause that one-
Yeah, it's
The AP ranked.
well, they play Monday. Clemson plays Duke Monday, so technically it's not this weekend, but we won't go on
Penn
technicality.
State.
At West Virginia, where's Penn
I
at?
think West Virginia's at Penn State.
No, it's not. It's at West Virginia. I believe so.
West
it's at
Virginia's at Penn State.
No, I don't think that's right.
I'm looking at it right now.
You are?
Yeah.
Are you sure you're seeing it right?
Give me Arkansas to win the West. I'll take that.
Oh wait, you are right.
God, how'd that
Woo
feel?
Pig Suey.
Not good. I didn't like that.
I just don't see Arkansas winning the West.
No,
That's
man,
not the-
here's
that's
what
not the
I'm gonna
question.
tell
The
you.
question
If
is,
I
is it
had
more likely than the other
Yeah,
thing?
I think
Duke beating Clemson is more likely than Arkansas winning the West.
Is that game at Duke?
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Mm.
That's what I got. It's a good question
Great
there,
question.
Sasha.
It's a great question.
Got that AK espresso
All
out.
right, so the second thing, and this is what the producers got really excited about, is I have a really big problem with you guys' lineup from the Saturday special where y'all went and ranked the best movies, and you had Friday Night Lights winning everything. And as somebody that's from Odessa, Friday Night Lights is not the best movie. I love football. I love Friday Night Lights. The best movie, you either got to go with A League of Their Own or 42.
Okay, so a few things on that. That was not our list. That was Ben Shapiro's.
Yes.
We were asking him, and he had the bracket going. Then when it got to the end, we just weighed in. He bounced the natural in the first round. I don't even want to talk.
He said he didn't like The Water Boy. He said he thought it was awful, which I've never been. Well, you know, like when your parents look at you like the worst, or like, I'm not mad at you, I'm disappointed.
Yeah.
Like, that's how it felt for me.
You know,
Look, we're seeing
like
Ben
a piece of me died that day.
Why don't we go say that to Mike Winchell's face? All right. Our Chavo's face. Our Tim McGraw's kid who beat him.
Don't talk about Tim McGraw's kid.
He couldn't hold on to the ball, man.
He can't hold on to the damn ball.
I tell you what, lollipop in the mouth.
Come
I don't
on,
like
man.
it.
But, you know, we always say, and listen, the referees did blow a call against Dallas Carter, but you know when that state championship was lost? So when you had Boobie Miles in up 42-0 the first game. Billy Bob, that's on you. That's on you because you wanted to run up to score, because you kept hearing everybody talk on the radio. It's on you,
Didn't
Coach.
they try and put other
it's
dude
on
in,
you.
though?
Huh?
They try and put other dude in.
No, I don't care. We'll call a timeout, or we'll take a delay a game.
You know what other team did that? Notre Dame this weekend.
I did see
Audric
that.
Estime is running the ball in the fourth quarter with 50
Does nobody
seconds
learn?
left,
Why is Aaron Rodgers in the
42-3.
preseason?
No, that's different. That's different.
It's not.
And now you keep trying to make fetch work, Gretchen. It's not going to work.
Hey, look, we're seeing Shapiro this week for the second annual Daily Wire Fantasy Football League.
Yeah, we got to
We'll be talking to him about some.
Sasha, we'll tell him what you said.
For sure. We'll pass that along.
You can put my name on it, and I'm glad we have that bet going, Jake, and I look forward to seeing you on week 9.
Yeah, we'll see it. Step in the arena like Gilbert
You remember
Arenas.
the bet? You don't remember the bet?
I remember the bet.
No, you don't. What is it?
Yeah, I do remember
What
the
is
bet.
it?
That's between me, Sasha, and God.
Okay. Yeah,
Sasha
he does.
and God.
Tell him,
what's
Sasha.
the bet?
Tell him.
Yeah, what's the bet?
Tell him.
Hey, so the bet is Texas over/under wins for the season. 8's a push. Got anything over 8, I'm sending in a $100 dono. Anything under 8, Jake's giving me a merch pack.
Get the account ready.
I'll take the over.
Get the account ready.
Yeah.
Get it ready. Tell them there's some wire money coming in. Be quiet, y'all. There's more people
Gator
around.
needs his walking around money.
Gator needs that walking around money. Sasha,
Thanks, Sasha. We'll see you at All Access this week, buddy. All right, Cade in Idaho, Pongo.
Pongo.
Got an alert.
lined
Hit that
up.
check. Come on, let's
Pongo.
go. What's up, Cade?
So I need some advice here.
Okay.
Let her go.
You called the right place.
And first of all, last time I called in, you guys didn't get my call sign. It's Bronco Spud.
Bronco Spud.
Bronco
I like
Spud.
that.
Cade
Bronco
Spud.
Stud or Bronco Spud? Because it's a Boise State fan in Idaho.
Yeah, so Bronco Spud,
Shut
Boise State fan in Idaho.
Okay.
Let's go, Cade. Let's go. I'm just glad y'all caught that
And
psycho, whatever his name is. Anyways.
My entire family, extended family, are BYU fans, and we're members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. But I despise BYU.
Really?
Absolutely despise them, and I have no idea. I've tried to be a fan of them, but it's gotten to the point where I would root for Alabama over BYU.
Why is that? Do you just not like the way they go about things?
They just don't go. They go about things the wrong way. They always think that they're better than they are, and they kind of try to force everyone to be fans of them.
Yeah.
But then if you look at who starts the most fights in the Holy War, like Utah versus BYU, it's always a BYU fan that starts a fight.
Look.
Every time.
Cade, I appreciate you coming on sharing this info,
Hey,
man.
you don't have to go to Rainbow Land.
Yeah, you don't have
All right,
to go
and
to
they
Rainbow
can't
Land.
make you
That's
go to
exactly right.
All right.
Yeah, I probably am going to get disowned by my family for what I'm saying.
Hey, look, Cade. Guess what? Guess where you're at right now.
You are, Cade.
Guess where you?
You're in the
Thank
trust
God
tree
for the
right
trust
here.
tree. Welcome to it.
Extended. You're immediate.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah, there's a stocking over the fireplace that says Cade at my house every year.
We'll pick you up after we get Kirk from Canada.
Well, Skyhook situation.
Skyhook works its way down, dog.
You've
Just
seen
strap
Batman.
up.
You
Just
know
a
how
big
it
zip
works.
line.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys. I just needed a little bit of advice on that.
Yeah. Here's what I would
my
say. Here's what I would say, Cade. The main thing, the best advice I would give you is, you know the people around you better than anybody. You don't have to be a BYU fan if you don't want to. If they want to act a fool, which again, I'm not up there, I don't know. I'm speaking from your experience right now. You do what you want to do, and you will always have the support of the trust tree. You just remember.
And Kay, never forget this either. You can always come on down to Auburn, Alabama, and you join that orange and blue, baby. All right? You can always come home and be a fan in Auburn. We're right here.
I already am part of a Boise State. That's orange and blue for me. Sorry.
Good. Yeah, no, there you go. Look, I respect it. I respect it.
Also, thanks for Brian Harsin.
If any BYU fans want to call in and share their side of the story, we'd love that.
Oh, good. Great.
All right. Appreciate it, Kate.
Hold on.
Thanks, Kate. Stir the pot. Stir the pot, man.
David's like, by the way, if you'd like to send it to our address.
All right. Rob in Louisiana. Rob, what's up?
Robbie?
Rob, what's up?
Morning, gentlemen. The old
Roberto.
19.
There he is.
Oh, there he goes.
There he is.
Come on in here, buddy.
Blaine, get my name right. Old War School.
I got it right.
Old War School.
No,
Old War School.
Skull. Happy birthday anyway.
I love you.
Yeah, love you too, man. All right, fellas, I'm a little hot under the collar this morning. Nay, I am livid. I have been sitting on this Mason Smith stuff since I found out about his suspension. I am madder than the snake that married the garden hose. The NCAA couldn't pour piss out of a boot if the instructions were written under the heel. In fact, they probably changed locations of those instructions just to make the whole operation screwed up. So, my question to you guys is, what if we all just collectively tell them to go pound sand and just say, nah, Mason Smith is going to play. Nah, whatever fine you impose on us, we're not going to pay it. No, men can't participate in women's sports. And tell them this is why Michigan have given an inch. These people deserve no respect. They're not law enforcement. And the colleges are the ones that end up giving them the money anyway. They don't make money. So why don't we just tell them to go screw themselves? But
listen, I've been Old War Skull.
Tell them to get off your lawn, man.
No, Old War Skull, we have been saying that. Like, look, Penny Hardaway did that at Memphis.
He did.
They're like, hey, you're in trouble now. You got a timeout. You know what Penny Hardaway said? He said, guess what? I'm not going to timeout. Yeah. What are y'all going to do about it? It's just like the bully on the schoolyard that keeps talking on the trash till somebody stands up to him and you find out he's a coward. Like what's his name? Oh boy, he's Robert Pattinson in that movie, The King and I, or whatever it is, where he's talking all that trash, and then the boy calls him out and says, all right, well, let's fight to see who wins the war, just me versus you, and he turns out to be super soft. I tell the NCAA to literally go pound sand. What are you going to do? Okay. What are you going to do if we play Mason Smith? What are you going to do?
What did they do to him? I mean, they didn't get a fine. Even if they did, does a school have to pay it?
I would tell them no. I would say no.
Why?
I'd say, you know what? You know what? Mason Smith, the first game of his senior year, he'll sit out. That's what I'd say. He's gone as a junior. He ain't coming back. But I'd tell him, look, what would happen if you did say no?
Well, I think we're going to see slightly different strategy because I heard there's a new defensive lineman for LSU playing this week named Jason Smith. Boy,
it's just Mason
came out of nowhere.
Hit of our said he just got eligible.
Week,
There is no South Ponchatoula High School in Louisiana.
So one more thing for you guys. I don't know what the rules are, but I'd like to send y'all a Dustin Poirier hot sauce packet. The package with bottles and also a bottle of his Rare Stash bourbon. That stuff is amazing.
Yes, please.
Hey, I want to ask you, what do you think about Will Howard getting the number 7 jersey or patch?
It's going to look weird on the offensive line, but hey, look, legacy.
Will Campbell.
Will Campbell, excuse me.
Will Campbell, yeah. It's not Will.
It's like Will Howard's at Ole Miss. Walker Howard's at Ole Miss.
Walker,
who the hell is Will? It's just confusing for a second. No, that is weird.
Louisiana things, we do weird things. That's why I would not be. Look, we're the state that almost sued the NFL after the Saints got robbed for that no call pass interference.
And you should have.
So I think there might be some NCAA people getting some letters from some coon-ass lawyers down here in Louisiana that might hear about this.
I've got nothing but respect for a state that tells the NCAA to shove it and has drive-through daiquiri places. I can promise you that.
Michigan's not doing it.
No, Michigan's not doing it. They're just handing out library books, telling everybody to stay in line.
All right, appreciate it, Rob.
Appreciate it, Rob. Call back, man. Great call.
All right, that's it for today. But Steve on the line, Dave on the line, Jason, all these other guys, y'all call in Wednesday.
Wednesday. I swear. We'll get there earlier. It's football season, so that's on me. All right, Blaine, Booster Club as I'm walking over here.
The house that Cody built says BYU definitely thinks they're better than they are. They claimed a natty in the 80s after beating a 6-6 Michigan team in the Toilet Bowl.
The Toilet Bowl.
The toilet bowl.
First of all, watch your mouth. Second of all, BYU fans, come on. Stand up for
there's
yourselves
a lot of
here.
BYU.
It's starting to be a trend.
On Twitter.
The narrative's getting created in the Booster Club. Fight back.
I mean, Joseph Smith's pissed.
What does Sister Riggs say? She knows what's
She's a
going on
Utah
out there.
fan.
I know,
She's probably like, yeah, they suck.
I wonder if she corroborates that.
I guarantee you she does.
All right, let's go to CCM28 with the $5 donation. Appreciate you. Don't think there's a more entertaining player than Colin Klein. K-State was so fun to watch back then.
Yeah, but you know what I like about K-State? They got the exact same mindset, even with Coach Kleinman now, as they did back then. It's like the exact same team, but Colin Klein, I tell you what, one of the best play callers, too, in football. Love him as an offensive coordinator at Kansas State.
All right, let's go to Texas Said. It says, Anders Carlson with the 57-yard field goal this weekend. I thought it was 62.
It was 62.
Arnold's kicked a 60. Still not impressed. Give me whoever loses the K battle in NOLA. Yeah, Anders Legatron kicked a 62.
It was Daniel that hit it.
Was
right?
It Daniel? It's one of them.
Daniel's the old.
For the Raiders. If it was Raiders,
yeah, it's Daniel Carlson.
Yeah, Daniel Legatron kicked a 62-yard field goal this weekend. Let's go to Aaron Demers. What's up, Aaron? Said, I love Swamp Kings. I still think Louisville didn't lose to Rutgers on a last-minute field goal. We could have played with Ohio State, and we would have been undefeated. I mean, that is true.
I mean, look, it's all speculation now. That's the thing that sucks the most about it.
Let's go to Chief Brody. What's up, Chief? Tell me what position groups you take from Michigan decisively over Notre Dame.
Position groups this season?
Mm-hmm.
Running back.
I'm going to take the running back room.
Yeah.
You know,
I would take
I'll still take the offensive line.
Yeah, I'll take the
even though I think
offensive line,
Joe Alt may be the best tackle in the country. And then so far, I need to see more of Notre Dame's defense first before I can.
Well, the defensive line, I'd take Michigan's.
Yeah, I would too. And then let's see what J.J. McCarthy does. I don't know, man. J.J.
I got to see more of the wide receiver group from Notre Dame, too.
Might freak out this season.
David, I mean, I got to see more of the wide receivers from Notre Dame. I don't know yet. I mean, Davey was playing zero coverage for half the game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they were just like, screw it. Here, let's send all the ships.
Let's go to Justin Decker. What's up, Justin? He says, dealing with a sick daughter. I missed the entire show. That's okay. I hope she gets better. Notre Dame will get destroyed against better competition. I wasn't that impressed. The Navy Notre Dame DBs had several.
Well, like, then what could Notre Dame have done to impress you?
I know. That's what people
like
are saying that to me on Twitter. I'm like, the starter scored a touchdown every single
like,
drive.
what else can you do?
That's hard to do on air against practice. Now, on the defensive side, yes, Navy had some wide open receivers down the field. But Blaine, you made a good point yesterday, which is when you're running the ball every single play, and I know this from experience. We ran the wishbone in high school.
Yeah.
You get those eyes looking back there. You're going to have a couple plays like that, which is still unacceptable. Those are minuses.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, we're not saying they played a perfect football game.
Yeah.
Minuses look kind of different in certain ways, right?
All right, so getting to bets. It's just baseball tonight. NFL preseason's over. Don't worry. Thursday, college football comes back. Hurry! Sorry. Panicked there for a second, guys. And also, our Booster Club bets are brought to you today by DraftKings. So download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use our code BOOSTER, BOOSTER. If you're listening on X, go do it now if you're in a place where you can bet, because new customers can score $200 in bonus bets instantly when they bet just $5 on college football. It's only at DraftKings Sportsbook with code BOOSTER. The crown is yours. Take UMass plus 37.5 and the over North Carolina, South Carolina at 64.5. Do it right now. Unless you hate free money, then get out. So here's what I got today. Rockies, plus 1.5 at home against the Braves. If you're plus 1.5 on the run line and it's plus 135, I'm going to take it. Bryce Elder versus Austin Gomer. Look, I know the Rockies are just absolute hot dog water that you found in the bottom of a trash can, but hey, who knows? Braves pretty much already clinched it. Let's maybe find a way. And then, just to kind of hedge it a little bit, give me the Braves money line, right? And then give me the Blue Jays. That's a parlay at minus 114. So if Atlanta can win by a run, I'll be a happy camper today, fellas.
I'm going tennis today. U.S. Open men's side. Give me Tsitsipas minus a set and a half at minus 108, and I'll take Zverev minus 2.5 sets minus 170.
Tsitsipas. So
good for you, Dave. A little tennis action.
Yep. I do want to say I saw Parker Titsworth run out in the field today at Saturday.
Did he?
At center for Ohio, and about had a heart attack. I was laughing.
Parker Titsworth.
Because I just saw, like, they had the starting lineup, and you saw him walking out there, and you saw the back of his jersey, and just said Titsworth.
Yeah.
And I instantly went back to David losing his mind.
If there's anything worth, it's that.
That's exactly right.
Give me the Braves minus 1.5 Minus 166. I do not believe in the Rockies at all. Trash can. Then give me the Rangers going back to the well. Minus 1.5 plus 105. Can we just get this month over with?
Ace, Dodgers money line, minus a nifty 150. And then the Tigers money line, minus a mean 115. All right, what do we got over there in the Club De La Booster before we wrap this baby?
SJ Dillon Park said Anders kicked a 57 and Daniels kicked a 62 in the same
And what's crazy
day.
is Auburn probably has a better kicker now than either one of them. They got Evan McPherson's little brother.
Wow.
All right, let's go to Matt Jones. Who?
Matt Jones.
He said Audric Estime is great, but I think Notre Dame would take Blake Corum over him. Yeah, I think Blake Corum might be a little underdog for the Heisman this year.
I agree with that, especially when you have those.
All right, let's get to the poll.
Poll.
Is Notre Dame a national championship contender? See?
This is a good
Or
one.
no?
I'm a contender.
You are. A lot of people.
They're all
lost.
contending.
A lot of people are picking you.
It's not that deep. It's not that deep. Let's say shallow. On that.
Words matter.
Yeah, they do. Sometimes.
I'm gonna say they
They
said.
said no. I think yes, but they said no.
They said no. 61%.
62%. After the hate I saw on Twitter for Notre Dame this weekend,
No. 73%.
yeah. I disagree, though.
Wow. Interesting. All right, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We're almost to 100,000 subs. I got Tim Brando coming on tomorrow. Really excited about that. He's going to tell us why he doesn't believe in our Texas pick and preview week 1. College football's back. The NFL's about to get started. It's the greatest time of the year. We got Major League Baseball playoffs and everything else. You can find it here on Crane & Company, okay? So whether you get up or you don't get up, make sure you subscribe, follow us on all social medias, go to the Daily Wire Plus, and shout out to our sponsors, Genucel, DraftKings, Black Rifle Coffee. Use that promo code BOOSTER. It helps out everybody, and go grab some merch. And like us waiting for college football season, we're going, gone.